Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I am currently in Bangkok, Thailand, and one of the most common things I get requested is how much does it cost to live in Thailand? So in today's video, we're going to be going over the costs, some common things, some uncommon things, unexpected things, all across the board. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification button so you can be notified whenever I release content like this or any other travel related content. Now, as far as Thailand, I would say one of the biggest things to consider when it comes to coming here and or living here would be the visa. So let's assume that you're doing a typical tourist visa, which is 30 to 60 days. You can always get it extended by 90 days for a few extra dollars. Now, if you're just coming temporary, maybe for a summer, maybe for a season, maybe you know that December to January is prime time, you just want to take advantage of that perfect weather, you don't have to worry about the more pricier visas. Now, I'm assuming that a lot of people now want to live here long term. So one of the visas I say to consider would be the DTV visa. And what that is it's like almost like a digital nomad visa or a passive income type visa. The good thing about this visa is you don't have to be older. Like with a lot of the retirement visas, you have to be like 50, 55, 65, etc. They place the age limit on it. Assuming you're an adult, at least 18 years old, you technically qualify for this visa. So as far as the other qualifications, I can go about that in other videos, but you need to show proof of income or proof that you're stable financially. Typically, for Americans at least, it's like 15,000 USD. You need in a savings or some type of assets. So it doesn't have to be liquid. You could show like stocks, or maybe you have some type of investments that you can show. Make sure you get a lawyer, make sure everything's legit, and they can help you with that. But as far as that visa, it's typically between $250 to $400, depending on the time you do it, and like also the Thai baht. So when you do currency conversions, money's always fluctuating, right? So one day you may wake up, the Thai baht is 30 Thai baht for 1 USD, or maybe 35 Thai baht for 1 USD. So, it's constantly changing. So, but it's typically within that range, $250 to 400 USD. And the good thing about that particular visa is it lasts like 5 years. You do need to do some refreshments every so now and again. And once again, I would say consult with a lawyer to make sure you're not making any mistakes. So there's that, $250 to $400. Next thing you would consider is the plane ticket itself. That needs to be an added cost, but also you want to add the fact that you may have to fly back to your origin country. Let's say you're from Kenya. Let's say you're from Jamaica. Let's say you're from China. You need to consider the fact that there is a chance that you may have to fly back. Why would you fly back? Well, I don't want to put this into the air, but I have to be honest with you. There may be a family emergency. Your friends may need you. You may have to handle some business. You may have certain documents that are mailed to you that you have to be there physically for. Like maybe you have some type of meeting with the IRS. Maybe you got called to some type of business, whatever, right? It could be a series of things. Hopefully it's nothing bad as far as like family emergencies, but you just want to consider that as part of your budget. So you want to consider the flight there, but also the flight back. And the thing about flights is they change depending on where you're located, and also the season, and also how many people are searching for it. The reason why I say that is because if you buy a plane ticket in December, it's not going to be the same as a plane ticket in March. Also, it's messed up, but the airlines play geographical location games. This is why I personally have a VPN, which is another thing to consider. My VPN is not a sponsorship, that's why I'm not going to name their name, but my VPN costs like about $150 a year. So the way I look at it is just like, what, $14 a month or something, like it's nothing. But essentially, what you want to do is consider your plane ticket. So for me, coming from Las Vegas to Bangkok, Thailand, I want to say the ticket was roughly like 700 USD. So I would also want to have another 700 in the event that I want to fly back. So that's something to consider. Now, let's move on to the next subject as far as moving to Thailand. Let's start from the very beginning. Day one. You land at the airport, you're feeling good. Oh my God, I'm in Thailand. You got that fresh air, breathing, you're like, this is it, You need some money to get to your location because I'm assuming you're not going to sleep at the airport, right? So you want to look at taxis, you want to look at Grab, you want to look at all this. The good thing about Grab, the good thing about Grab is if you choose to do that route, it's very affordable. So there's no direct flights into Pattaya, so I'm assuming you're going to land in Bangkok, and then maybe from Bangkok you go to other different cities. But let's say you were to go to, you land in the airport, which they have 2 airports out here, and then you go to the city center. Typically for ride shares, which are cheaper than tuk-tuks and taxis, you're looking at about, from the airport to downtown or to go across the city, you'd be looking at roughly 200 to 450 baht, depending on the time and things of that nature. But the good thing is that's less than 20 bucks USD, less than 20 euros, less than 20 Swiss francs. It's nothing essentially, right? So that's one cost that you have there. The next thing you want to consider is the fact that when it comes to out here, typically companies want you to either pay your entire lease up front, or maybe you can work with a company that will say, hey, just pay the first month and the last month as a deposit, and then as the months go by, you can do the monthly payments. Those are like the 2 options that I see are the most common, so you want to consider that. For condos, assuming you're not doing it through Airbnb, because Airbnb has a little bit of a premium and taxes and things of that nature, so there's somewhat of a markup, which is understandable. Hey, they got to make their money, they're the middleman. But let's say you got a direct connect. Maybe you've been consulting with some real estate agents, maybe you see a company, or you've seen your favorite YouTuber mention certain names and information, phone numbers, etc. So you already got everything lined up when you get there. For the average 1-bedroom condo in Bangkok, Thailand, you're looking at between 450 to 800 USD. It's for sure going to be less than 1,000 USD, unless you're staying in something very luxurious, something new, something in a prime location. If you're on the outskirts, like I was in Bang Na first when I came here a couple years ago, and I want to say that was like 400 or something a month, but I was on the outskirts of the city. Where if you're in the main city, it may be like, 750, 850, something like that. Still a lot cheaper than the United States. Right now, I believe the United States average is about 1,700 for a 1-bedroom studio. So it's a good price. Now, when you get here, you got your transportation situation, you got your apartment, but you need to eat something. It is cheaper to eat out, but you always want to have something in your fridge because you may get hungry, you may get some late night snacks, you may have some guests over, and you're going to look like a weirdo if you don't have nothing in your refrigerator. You also want to stay hydrated, have some water in there, and also there's certain days where you just don't want to go outside. Thailand is beautiful, but just like anywhere else, it's going to go through honeymoon stages, but then there's also the extreme weather conditions. If you're not used to humidity, it's going to be very hot for you, and it can drain you. This is why I drink a lot of coconut water and eat a lot of fruits and vegetables while I'm out here, trying to retain that energy. So you can have a few things in your refrigerator. Maybe you got, water, food, etc., whatever, some basic things to fill up your refrigerator as far as groceries, roughly for a month. You'll be looking at less than 250 USD. And that's really going all out, like really getting some good stuff, getting gallons and gallons of water, bottles of water, getting a little steak up in there, definitely. That's a good price to consider. So what is the next thing you want to consider? Let's say that you want to go to the hospital. To go to the hospital, it depends on what type of hospital you're going to, because there's like clinics and then there's like actual hospitals, and there's the private and public, and then there's like the English one that cater towards the tourists, and then there's like the ones that are Thai specific that may have a few people that may know a little bit of English in there. So it's kind of a wide variety. But for me personally, when I went to the hospital, I want to say it was about 2,200 baht, and that was one of the English speaking. I don't even know why I'm doing parentheses because they spoke English. I don't, I don't know why I did parentheses. They spoke English, but I guess I should say that's one of the more established ones. But honestly, you can go to the local ones or whatever. You don't have to pay the premium like that just because they say, hey, we're certified in this area, or this doctor went to this British school. But I paid about 2,200 baht, right? So cheaper than America. I feel like in America, and that's with no insurance. Key thing to remember, no insurance. And they don't make you pay up front. In the States, if you don't have insurance, give me the money right now. Then we'll see you. And then we'll talk about other stuff. Here, they talk to you. Hey, what's going on? What do you need? Blah, blah, blah. Talk to the doctor. Do you need any medicine? Da, 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 da. Anything else I can help you with? And you pay after, even if you don't have insurance, which is a key difference from the States. And the wait time is crazy, but you're not here to hear about that right now. You're here to focus on the cost. So it's 2,200 baht, and I've been to hospitals, I think, twice since I've been out here. The second time was like 2,200 baht. The first time, I want to say, was a little more expensive because I got a whole bunch of tests done because I did like testosterone tests, just a whole bunch of random stuff because I'm like, it's cheaper than the States. I remember I tried to test my testosterone before I left. And I want to say they wanted to charge me like $350 in the States. When I got a testosterone test out here, it was like 70 USD. So it's way cheaper. But yeah, you can so that second time, or the more expensive time, I want to say I paid in total like 3,600 baht, which is a little over $100. But keep in mind, I got a whole bunch of tests done, where the second time was more just so a checkup and all that type of stuff. So like, it can be very cheap if you're comparing it to like United Kingdom or, you know, somewhere like the United States, Australia, things of that particular nature. For a night out on the town, I would say you can easily spend less than $50. I went to a fancy Korean restaurant. Fancy. I'm talking about like, you know how you go to the Korean barbecues? They call it unlimited out here. But you know how you go to the Korean barbecues, you gotta cook your food, whatever. This one was so fancy that they cook it for you. So it was me and another person sitting down. We probably had like 4 different employees helping us. Like we felt like we got the royal treatment. They got the manager talking to us, hey, how are you? They got one person making sure the meat is perfectly sliced, another person cooking it, another person, you know, doing whatever miscellaneous things we need to do. And that was like $40 per person, $40 USD. That's considered top tier. So if you want to, you know, I guess impress a guest or you want to go somewhere nice, that's the price you're looking at. If you want to do street food, you're looking at about $2 for a drink and a meal. Sometimes it can be like $3, depending on where you go, but easily less than $5. That's nothing. And then if you're looking at a mid-tier restaurant, you're looking at about roughly $10 to $15 per person. You know, so if you got 3 people, $45, and that's with a drink, right? Some places will charge you extra for the drink. Some places will be like, hey, it comes included. You want to go to a club? For me personally, I don't have that much experience. I haven't been to too many clubs out here. I've been to a few bars, but it was either a situation where someone else paid for me, or they were like, hey, you can get in for free, but if you want the premium seating, that's where you gotta pay. And I was like, I'll just do the basic seating. But yeah, as far as clubs, I think it's less than $20 because I've been one time, but that was like definitely some months ago. But typically it's not too bad. Movie theater, less than $15 per person, and that's with the snacks and everything included. It's super cheap out here, y'all. But there are certain things that either cost more or the same. Gym membership. I had a gym membership in California, Nevada, and Ohio. Those are like the 3 places I lived back in the States. All 3 of those states, even with California being one of the most expensive states, you can find a gym membership for less than $50 per month. Out here, I don't think they have that, and if they do, it's probably not a good gym. For me personally, when I signed up for the gym out here, it was, I want to say about 100 USD, right? And they don't have super gyms. I think that's why it costs so much. In Vegas, Ohio, California, whatever, they got super gyms where it's like 100 people, hundreds of people can be there at a time. It's super large, 24-hour fitness, Las Vegas Athletic Club, Planet Fitness. These super big gyms or super basic gyms, it'll be like 30, 40 USD a month. $10. Planet Fitness is famously known for that, for their basic plan. You're not going to find no $10 gym out here. You know what I'm saying? You might get a condo that has a couple weights in it, but it's going to be not what you're looking for. Maybe they got 4 treadmills, and they got these little small 15-pound dumbbells, which are in kilograms, so you're not going to really gain too much there. So that's how much it costs for a gym. If you want to get contact lenses, because as you can see, I got glasses right now. For me, that's one of the things that actually costs more. So gym costs more and contact lenses cost more. The contact lenses, they quoted me at, if you do the conversion, I want to say it was 1,500 baht, but if I did the conversion, it was like $46 a month to fill my contact prescription. So if I did 1 year supply, that'd be over $500 a month. That'd be something like that, right? Where if I filled them in the States, that would be 140 roughly for 6 months. So if I did a whole year, it's less than $300. So gyms cost more from my experience, and the contact lenses cost more from my experience. What else costs more? Apple products and Nike products. So maybe name brand, you could say, especially if they got to import it from somewhere else. We're not going to talk about alcohol in this particular video because I don't drink, and I want to keep things like PG/PG-13, right? So you can do your own research when it comes to alcohol and condoms and all that type of stuff. But I remember I had an issue with my laptop. I tried to get a new cord, and it was like double the price in the United States. I'm like, I purposely waited till I came to Thailand because I was assuming it'd be cheaper. And then the Nikes, like if you do Air Force Ones, it's typically a markup of like $20, $30. But from my understanding, people told me that's because they gotta bring it in. So they're paying extra to get it, so they're gonna charge you extra. I remember meeting this Vietnamese girl, and she had like Jordans on. She was like, man, in my country, these shoes are so expensive, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, okay, interesting. But other than electronics and name brand American household goods, in the gym and the contact lenses, things of that nature, generally things are cheaper. Like you can get a haircut for like $10 to $20, a massage for like $7 to $15, and that $15 massage is with the tip included. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, clothing's about the same, unfortunately, but it is what it is. But these are the costs of living. If you got any more questions, leave it in the comment section.